Hello, it's late at night and I'm awaiting for some freight to arrive so that we can load it up into this here aeroplane and send it off to Queensland. But while waiting that, I thought I'd take you through some of the incredibly cool aeroplanes in the hangar at the moment. We just had the Hunter Valley Air Show and some big heavy metal fighters have been living in the hangar, and some of them are still here. In particular, my two favourite aeroplanes, which are the two bendy wing ones, the Corsair and the Sea Fury. In addition to that, there's a P40 casually sitting there, and over here, past the jet, is a Spitfire, one of the most iconic aeroplanes ever invented. So, my favourite one, the Corsair, is just massive. It probably isn't doing it justice looking at it in a video, but I'm just shy of 6 foot tall, and it's the cowl is well and truly giving me plenty of headroom. That should give some sort of indication of the sheer size of this aeroplane. As many of you would know, the wings are folded because it was a carrier fighter, so they folded the wings up to be able to make space on the aircraft carrier. And the gull wing, so the reason the wing has a bend in it like that and then would go out there once the wing's extended, is because the prop is so big that if it didn't extend like that, then there wouldn't be any prop clearance. So that just gives you an idea of the size of the machine. Link on Beaver walk around videos, I've showed you the oil cooler. Have a look at the size of the oil cooler on a Corsair. This particular Corsair is an actual combat veteran and had 10 confirmed kills, and is the only airworthy one of this variant anywhere in the world. So it makes it pretty special to be standing in front of it. A little bit of a surreal feeling, actually. You'll see back here that not only does it have trim tabs, but it also has servo tabs as well. So you can see that they are moving as the elevator moves to assist with elevator control. The rudder is massive, but I don't think you could ever get a big enough rudder with that amount of torque. And looking from here at this angle, still probably doesn't do it justice to just how big it is looking at a video, but I assure you, standing here in person, it's a very, very big aeroplane. Getting into the aeroplane in itself is no small feat. Can't step on the flaps there like most aeroplanes. There's a walkway up there. There's a handhold, I believe that one is. There's a push down step, and there's also a push in step there. Not sure if you can see that in the glare of the shiny paint. And that's a foothold, and then a handhold of a similar nature there. Even then, that's a very long step. If we once again use me as a comparison, that's a long way to step. So fortunately though, I have Mum's painting stepladder that I've purloined for the task, and that makes it somewhat possible, even though it is a big leg stretch, to get to that step and then into the cockpit. And the cockpit is a long way off the ground. Okay, so up here on the aforementioned step, you can see just how military the cockpit looks. I know it's a little bit dark in there, the lighting's not spectacular, but straight out of all the movies, the big headrest there. And looking down here, it's a very long way down to the belly down there. There's no real floor as such, just those big trays for your feet on the rudder pedals. Look at the size of the rudder pedals on that note. Size of the stick there, just everything about it is absolutely massive. Throttle quadrant there, it's quite a long way up. So sitting there looking at about, the camera's there at about pilot head height, It's not an awful lot to see because the nose is, had a guess, probably 10 or 12 feet in front of the pilot. And looking over there at the Sea Fury, it's about the same sort of size, and they're both two very big aeroplanes. For comparison, there's a P40 there, which is by no means a small aeroplane, but you can see how much smaller it looks compared to these two big Navy fighters. Over here to the Sea Fury, the Australian markings on it, and this particular Sea Fury is, was a Reno racer prior to coming to Australia, and as such doesn't have the sleeve valve radial that they originally had, which is the Bristol Centaurus engine. This is a Wright R3350, which I believe this particular one is making 3,050 horsepower. Look at the size of the spinner alone. Round 3 of comparing aeroplanes against my size. Look at just how big that is. Size of the cow. Probably sits slightly lower than the Corsair, but not by much. Look at the sheer size of everything, the undercarriage, the gear doors, how minute the cockpit looks by comparison to the rest of the aeroplane. 4-bladed prop on this one versus the 3-blader on the Corsair. Very, as I said earlier, very surreal feeling to see these iconic fighters sitting here in little old Cessnock. Two V12 fighters in here, the P40, which is fitted with the Allison V12 V1710, so 1710 cubic inches. There's its 50 cal machine guns, and then the other, you can see the amount of oil radials leak, no different to the Beaver, just the scale increases. And then the other V12 fighter, the Spitfire, with of course the Rolls-Royce Merlin with 650 cubic inches cannon there, and you can see the much narrower track compared to the carrier fighters. Big coolers in there. Very, very iconic aeroplane, and quite amazing to have it sitting here in the hangar. See how big the Corsair is there, towering over everything. I do now actually have to go and do my job and get sorted, pulling some seats out, ready to load some freight into this here Pilatus. But thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that walk around of these incredible aeroplanes, and I'll see you in the next video.